Hello, and welcome to My Perspective Mondays.
Hey, y'all.
Hey,
Yes.
I hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope you had great holidays in the past and all these things like that. But you know what? We got a great show today because I want to know what would you do if you won the lottery? All right,
Yes.
that's what I want to know.
I'll tell you.
All right, go for it, Mark.
I'm glad you asked. As I sit here in my dark man cave with my University of Georgia national championship chair behind me, it's something I think about every day, you know. And I think when I'm doing the most mundane task, like clipping my nails, going to the restroom, and I think, do rich people still have to do this?
Right.
Think about that every
Do they
day,
hire
Mark.
someone to
Question.
do- Yes, every day I do. And the older you get, the more you do, Abby. Trust me.
I feel like that's a very bizarre thing to think about when you're doing like everyday stuff.
Well, you're talking to the right guy. I'm a bizarre guy, so what can I say?
I
Hey,
mean, that is
you
very
know
true.
what? Hey, why not let someone else do my laundry and do some little things that I do every day. Really, my husband do. He's so precious. But anyway, I thank God for you, baby. I love you. I love you. No, but $1 million, or let's just say, how much money are we talking about here? How much money is the right amount of money for you guys?
I think 500 million would be good.
No, that's greedy. I'll settle for 250 million.
253.
500 million. What lottery are you entering into?
Yeah, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit.
Hey,
So,
you gotta pay taxes, so you might as well take it up.
might as well
Yeah.
take
No,
it up,
see-
right?
Now, see, the caveat here is that if you won the lottery and didn't have to pay taxes, I mean, that
I've
complicates things.
I've always thought it was crazy because I don't like, obviously I don't pay taxes, but I've never, like, I always just thought it was crazy to pay taxes on a lottery because aren't you supposed to win all that money? Like, why are they taking the, like,
The IRS will always get their
Well, it's
take.
income.
They're gonna get theirs.
Yeah, they will always get theirs.
It's income.
They're gonna get
Yeah.
theirs. It's the principality of it.
Yeah, pretty much. Now,
Just joking. Oh my goodness.
But
But
nobody
you
said
know
what
what?
they would do with the money, though. So
What I would do, I would I think I would like just be a blessing to all those that was a blessing to me,
Mhm.
and I would invest it, but I wouldn't do it. I would do also, do like the typical investments that you would do, but no, I would invest it in people that have
Nice.
invested in me. That's what I would like to do. I would like
That's
to
so
invest in
sweet.
people.
yeah, I would invest in people too.
how would you invest it in people?
This people will be very happy.
All right, now there ain't nothing wrong with it. You got to give yourself some. If you don't give yourself some of the labor, some of the monies, then you're kind of like bike slapping yourself.
Well, somebody just said, "How would you invest it?" I think I heard that. So
Yeah, how do you invest it in a person?
because
houses,
it's just like when
cars,
people
travel.
invest in you, right? If they see your talents and your gifts, and they have during the years have invested in you, kind of reminds me of somebody like John, of Keanu Production. It's people that invest in you. I would invest back in them. Yes,
Hey,
I
I tell you
would.
what,
And
you
the
have a
first
lot of
person I would invest in is my husband because he is so precious. All these years he have invested in me. I love you, baby, wherever you at in the car.
Let me tell you something else. You'd have a lot of people that are a long lost family and friends wanting you to invest in them. By the way,
Well, you know what? Then that you have to use wisdom. You have to use wisdom on that part.
wisdom
it's
means
just
saying
like
no. Get out.
Well, if you knew a family member with all that kind of money, wouldn't you want some of it?
No.
What kind of family member? Are you talking about a cousin second removed by marriage, or are you talking about a brother or sister, or a parent or a child? See,
I'm talking about close relatives. However,
that's
you
nobody.
have to use your judgment call on that yourself. You
I
really
think
do.
you go nuts.
I don't know. I feel like even if it was like a close family member who had like the money, I don't think I wouldn't expect them to invest in me. Like, I don't know, there's something about it that I wouldn't think that they would do that for me.
Yeah.
I don't think there's some part of me that's like, I don't think they would do that for me.
I mean, what if they give you some money towards your college? So we see you're a struggling college student, and we want to be a blessing to you. You would take it?
I mean, I would take it, but I feel like I don't like charity very much, so I hate when people give me stuff. I want to work for it. So like I wouldn't just give something away that easily, because I wouldn't want someone to take it for granted, unless it was someone who like helped me a lot, like financially. Obviously, I haven't really been in that position because I'm 14, but like I don't know. There's something like I can't think that far or that big.
I think though, if you're an adult, I think your whole world would change. Whether you would say, "Oh, it wouldn't change me," and so forth, I'd remain the same. But I think that it might change the way people behave around you, because now you're different.
Yeah, I do agree with Abby, because like it's just the type of people, when they do give you something or like hand you something, they'll be like, and you end up having money, they'll be like, "Don't you remember when I did this for you? Where's my little change?"
I would be really popular.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, but the people you don't talk to, like, it's gonna magically be like, "Hey, do you remember me? I miss you." Like, no, you don't. You
don't remember me. Who are you?
That's actually good to hear, because now I know when I win the lottery, there are two people I have to worry about anymore, because they don't want anything from me. I'll give it to somebody else. Thank you very much. That's on the list.
I think that, like, personally, I think that since I'm younger, I think that maybe even Leah would understand that, but I would try to put it towards, like my...
Now, Abby, you said you would put it towards what?
I would put it towards like my college, like my future.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people, like money is just the only disadvantage. You can't really go to college if you don't have the money, or you can't get the, certain degree because they don't have the type of money to pay for it. Like
I just think definitely for younger kids now, I feel like when they get like big loads of money, some of them are not like financially, I won't say financially stable, like, but financially have that mindset of, okay, let me save some, or like
the long run.
Organize this, so when they just get it, just like spend.
There's
Somebody actually needs.
I mean, I'm
That's
definitely shopping.
That's not
There's
just young
nothing
people.
wrong with getting a hand
That's
up
everybody.
instead of a handout. It's not necessarily, I don't look at it as a handout. It's a hand up. It's an opportunity. You can take that opportunity. And I understand that you may not be expecting them to give you, but I mean, for them to give it to you and expect you to, it's like, in other words, it's an investment to them, because they want to see you make it. They want to see you do something with it. And they believe in you that much that you are. So that's pretty powerful.
But I think though, your whole world's going to change for you though, whether you realize it or not. Because I mean, this is what I hear. But there are support groups out there for people that come into a lot of money all of a sudden and aren't used to having it. Like for people that win the lottery and are heretofore, middle class or poor, because their old friends have nothing to do with them, because they're in another level now, but they don't fit in with people that have been rich for a long time. So they're kind of all they got to each other.
I feel like they're not your real friends if they're going to let the money, change their perspective on you.
Well, I mean, you can call it what you want, but I mean, your world does change though.
Some would do it, sure. Yes, they will. I mean, because they'll get jealous of you.
Yes,
and they'll start, they start saying like, I remember when we used to do this, that, and the other. So how come, you just trying to let the money, you're all funny acting now.
But I've heard celebrities say that when they started to get famous, that people, and I'm not, they wasn't necessarily bad. It's just that people treated them differently. I heard one of the Beatles say once that when he went back after he got famous, he went back to visit his relatives, and they treated him with kid gloves. Yeah, you're special. They didn't treat him badly. They treated him too nice. Instead of just one of the boys.
Yeah,
so it does change you. It does change your world.
Wow.
Not here. I'll never know.
That's really interesting, because I mean, it would be a whole new world to, to have whatever you want and be able to go wherever you want to go. And
definitely open your eyes differently.
I think you really have to get some core blocks that you have to be settled on, that whatever you got, that it will not take away from your your beliefs in this, that, or the other, or the way you act towards people, or your manners, or
Well,
have you
let me ask our
respond.
two young panelists something, okay? Because
Okay.
I think Abby, or maybe both of you said this about saving up money for college, and having to work hard toward a degree and so forth. Now, the question would be, if you had all that money, would you have the motivation that it would take to do all it takes to get a degree at this point? Because you're going to say at
Wow.
some point, why am I staying up to 2 a.m. jamming for this exam when I got all this money to fall back on?
I
Do you have the motivation?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I think I still have motivation, even though, because I feel like even if like, okay, why stay up at 2 a.m. when I have money to fall back on? But like, you never know what, because like random things happen in your life. Something could happen and that money needs to be taken away for that. So then you just decide to go to sleep and forget that exam, and now all that money's gone, and you're like, now I'm stuck.
How about you, Abby?
I honestly think that I don't think that I would let it. I wouldn't think of it as just fall back on it. That's not how I would look at it. I would probably look at it, it does make me feel better when I know that I have money to be able to support myself. But I would also I want to work towards something, because that's what I work towards. Like you can't buy a degree. I mean, you can, but you can't really buy a degree. You have to put in that energy. You have to put in that work. And so I would obviously want to put that in, and I'm gonna work for what I have. And even that money that I would be using, I could invest it in the future. And I think that even investing in real estate or something like that, so I can earn money and support myself. So it would be like I was working while I was doing it. I would think of it as investing in my future. And even if I'm not exactly going to use that degree, I want to work towards it.
I just think it'd be difficult. I'm not saying you're right or wrong.
Yeah.
Right? I just think it'd be difficult for you to get up, day in, day out, 5 days a week, 4 straight years at 8 o'clock and listen to some professor drone on about Shakespeare or about biology or something like that, and call on you for the answer, and you don't have it, and they get on you and you say, well, nuts to you, buddy. I got plenty of money. I don't need it. But I think you made a good point, though, is I think that it's unnatural for people not to have to struggle to get something, that we're not really meant to win the lottery, so to speak. And I've also heard something else, that if you come into a traumatic event in your life, whether it's good or bad, which is winning the lottery or something bad happened to you, is you don't make a drastic move for 6 months. Let things settle in, let you kind of get acculturated to having this new money, and then decide what to do. Don't quit the job, don't take the trip around the world, don't divorce the spouse or anything like that. Give it 6 months, and then decide what to do.
Definitely plan it well.
After that 6 months, I know I'm going to take a break from employment, and I am going to travel, and I am going to just put more time into my skills, more into me, just finding out more other things that I actually like to do besides having to go in and have to work or having to go and get this degree. I can just focus on me and what actually makes me happy.
You said travel. Hey, I'm on that round the world cruise.
Yeah.
And me
I'm
again,
as well.
I think I would just take Yes, I would take some of that money and I would invest also again in myself and some of my dreams and desires, put it towards some of my talents that I haven't been able to afford some things for my gifts and stuff. So I would definitely use it towards some things, towards things I need. What about you, Leah over there?
I would do a lot with my money. I think because I do know a friend of mine really close that does have sickle cell, so I would invest find a sickle cell company and give some money to them. But also I would definitely invest my money so more that even though I have a lot of money, it can still grow and grow and grow as I invest in it. Definitely put some towards school, because school can be pricey. And I just always had that dream. I always had that dream to build my own home, so I will definitely put some towards that as well. And definitely travel. I'm big on traveling. I want to travel everywhere.
That's awesome.
Let me ask something, since she mentioned that. Because my number one priority would be making sure I'm happy. and that would be involve buying a big house, a big car, lots of cars, lots of travel, and everything I want. Okay, now once all that's done, if I want to do something nice for somebody or something, what kind of organizations or people would you donate to? You said something about sickle cell or an individual, but what charities or organizations might you donate it to? A church or a charity or people or what?
Well, I would definitely donate it to a church, a ministry, because I believe in ministry and I believe in giving in that spectrum. Plus, I would probably donate to the Salvation Army. I see some things that they're doing, throughout the world, which is really awesome, but yes, I would donate to an organization. Yes.
Anybody else?
I probably would I would try to invest it into mental health awareness, because I think that there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that people don't see. There's not a lot of support that people get when they're going through mental illnesses, or if they have a mental disease, they don't have the best support. They don't have the best places they can go. So I would want to help them in that way. I think that they really need a lot of reformation in their industry in general. So I think I would really want to support that.
It's a pretty good one.
Good idea.
Yeah. Well, I'll say I'm not too sure on the organization just yet, but I think I may I would invest the money where we can build tiny homes for people who are homeless. I think that may help, get some
That's
real
really
estate
nice.
going. Yeah, get some people out of the street. So that'd be a good cause.
I think I go with what Abby was talking about. She said something about, I don't know, mental health awareness or just what, or addiction awareness is another one that kind of ties in with that. But, the trick is, you say you want to invest in that or give to that. Well, how do you go about doing it? Because somebody will knock on your door and say, hey, give me a bunch of money and we'll increase mental health awareness. Or give me a bunch of money and
We can't do
Salvation
that.
Army will help people. But how do you know what's going to actually do it? That's the rub. I have a lot of charities, is that you never know where the money's going to go.
Right.
That's why you
Interesting.
definitely, before you give money to charities, I think it's definitely best to do some digging, see what work they have done.
Right.
Absolutely.
Because you just don't want to, oh, look at this charity, let me give. And next thing you know, you get scammed and they don't
You'll
do
get spammed.
Right.
You know-
they say
But,
they
you
do.
might be better off what you said a while ago, and that is look for individuals that need it, because at least that's where the money's going to go.
At least you know
Yeah.
these people. I would love to build a school for the arts to troubled children. I would love to build a school in the arts for them,
That'd be
where it's
beautiful.
dance, music, and acting, and modeling, just school for the arts. I would love to
Hey,
do that.
would you do what multimillionaires do and be egomaniacal and make them name the school after you, though? Like
I don't know
Vanderbilt
about all
and
that. But it doesn't have to be
Vanderbilt, Stanford, places like
and
that.
it can be, especially if I'm funding the money. But it doesn't have to be. I just really want it to. I would love to do that.
That's really nice.
I have another question to ask you though. Why do you know of anyone that has been, maybe have gotten a lump sum of money and they absolutely just done away with their money? They lost their money.
Yeah, I know
It was
somebody like
not
that.
reasonable and responsible with it, and
Yeah.
now, hey, they're broke. You
I
know,
Right.
know, I know a woman who came into a bunch of money because her uncle was very wealthy, and he didn't pass away. I'm not sure how she got the money, but a lot of people get it, say from an inheritance. But this woman got a lump of money, so I hear, from her uncle, who's big in construction down here, and squandered it away, and drug addict, and she just did what you said. So
Oh man.
I would like to think I would not be like that, but
I know.
one never knows. I mean, back
Right.
where I started from 6 months later, who knows?
Yeah.
You know what? We have really had a great time tonight, but you know what? I want you guys to give your final thoughts. Go for it.
I'm trying different foods every other week. I'm just trying all different types of cuisines from different backgrounds, different cultures. I'm going to eat well and dress nicely and just give out to my family and friends and those in need.
Oh yeah. I would say, like everybody has said, focus on yourself, but also don't feel obligated that you have to give away your money to your friends and family.
No worries.
Take it. Just have a weekend by yourself or a month me just to calm down, get your nerves, and enjoy life.
Right.
I think that, as Marcus kind of said, you know, you need to be realistic with your money and to understand how you can spend it, you know, a safe way. Don't spend it too quickly. You know, don't make too many life changes, because you do want to be able to still be yourself and not have the money change you. I think that's a really important thing. You don't want it to let it completely change who you are, because it can. It really can.
I saw something on floating around. It floats around social media all the time and YouTube now. But several years ago, there was a TV reporter. I forgot where it was, but she was live and interviewing people that were scratching off lottery tickets. Of course, the chances of winning were like 1 in 290 million or something like that. She comes up to this young guy and turns him around and says, "Now, what would you do if you won the money?" And the guy just said, "A bunch of hookers and cocaine." And that was not the answer she was looking for on live TV, of course. All wonderfully embarrassing. And so I hope that I would at least not do that.
You know what? You know, if my final thought is that, you know what, it would be great to win the lottery and win all this money, but just remember that the wealth is in you. It's in your gifts, your talents. All of that is inside of you. You just got to bring all that forth, and perhaps maybe you can get those millions. But anyway,
I tell myself that, yeah.
But anyway, you have a great day and a great weekend as well. All right.
Thank you.
Love you.
Bye bye.